I lived where there were more animals than humans, and there were magpies in my trees out the back. All you got to do is feed them a bit of mincemeat in fall or in autumn, and they won't swoop you in spring. Like, they trust you. You got to build a relationship with the bird, you know what I mean? And I know that sounds dumb, or it might sound lefty or whatever, but it's really not hard. Like, you literally just leave a bit of mincemeat. When you see the magpie, you leave a bit of mincemeat out the next day. He'll remember you. He'll remember who that is, and he will not swoop you, you know? Like, it's just... I haven't been swooped by a magpie since I was fucking 14. If you're hanging around long enough to get pecked by a magpie, long enough that it's going to make you bleed, you're the problem. You're the problem. What's up, Squid? It's your Squid, aka the Anxious Squid, here at Anxious Squid Productions. Lane Cove City Council are honestly the biggest pack of fools in Sydney, in New South Wales, that I have noticed in the last, you know, however long. I'm going to read you an article here. It's just there. You can start reading it yourself if you like. But yeah, this is their Facebook post, because on their website it's just a video reporting, and I don't want to play you a video in this video. You know how this works. But yeah, up to 2 magpies living around a street on Sydney's lower North Shore will be culled following a spate of swooping attacks. Up to 2? Like, what does that even mean, right? So there's a magpie, and they're not sure if it's 1 or if it's 2, but there's a magpie that's swooping them. If you don't know much about magpies, right? Here's a picture of a magpie. Magpies are corvids. They're like crows or ravens here in the North American area, if that makes sense. If you've never heard of a magpie, Google it. They're really cool. Magpies are dope. They do swoop, though, and they do attack people. Not in the sense that they're like they're not going to kill you or anything. They're not going to pick up and eat a baby and fly away with it like some really big eagle or something, you know what I mean? It's just, every now and then they'll swoop in swooping season because their babies are up in the tree and they're protecting their babies, right? Sure, they've caused like 1 or 2 deaths, but that's not the magpie causing the death, right? Like, it's somebody fell off their bike because they went, and then they hit their head, or somebody had a heart attack, and you know, like, it's not like the magpie's swooping down with a knife in his wing or anything like that, you know, going like, yeah. It's just not how it works. Anyway, a licence to harm has been granted to Lane Cove Council by the National Parks and Wildlife Service to kill up to 2 animals. Of the 14 magpie attacks reported to an online database around Johnston Crescent at Lane Cove North last month, 8 resulted in injury. Like, I'm just going to go out on a whim here, right? Lane Cove is not exactly the countryside. Lane Cove is not exactly a habitat that you're going to bump into a bunch of animals with, right? You know what I mean? It's Ridgeville. It's the nice little suburbs of very, very well-off people. There's no one that lives in Lane Cove that isn't wealthy. It's a gentrified suburb and has been for, I don't know, like 50 years longer than gentrification has been around as a concept. Like, it's a thing. It's old money. Lane Cove is old money. And all this is some fuckwit who has decided, oh, I don't want to get swooped for the 2 or 3 weeks a year that this magpie is swooping me, and I don't want to put any effort into to be nice to the native animals. Let's just kill it, right? Literally, all you have to do... I lived in the bush, right? I lived in the middle of fucking nowhere. I lived where there were more animals than humans, and there were magpies in my trees out the back. All you got to do is feed them a bit of mincemeat in fall or in autumn, and they won't swoop you in spring. Like, they trust you. You got to build a relationship with the bird, you know what I mean? And I know that sounds dumb, or it might sound lefty or whatever, but it's really not hard. Like, you literally just leave a bit of mincemeat. When you see the magpie, you leave a bit of mincemeat out the next day. He'll remember you. He'll remember who that is, and he will not swoop you, you know? Like, it's just... I haven't been swooped by a magpie since I was fucking 14 and first learnt that. I've fed every magpie I've ever seen since. Maybe those 2 things aren't, like, maybe, you know, post hoc ergo propter hoc. Maybe I'm thinking, after it, therefore, because of, that was Latin, just maybe I'm thinking, like... You know, oh, I've paid my bird tithe, I've paid my bird tax, and so now they're leaving me alone. Maybe it's a coincidence, but it could be a coincidence for you as well, right? The council, in one incident, a walker had to get a tetanus shot and was left heavily bleeding after struck on the side of the head multiple times. If you're getting hit by that same bird multiple times in the one swoop, right, there's something fucking wrong with you. Like, if you get swooped by a magpie, fall to the ground. Be on the ground and be flat. It's not going to keep diving all the way down to keep pecking you. It'll fuck off. It won. It thinks you're dead, right? If you don't want to fall to the ground, leg it. I guarantee you, you can outrun a bird. You know, like, it's not going to chase you forever. Like, if you're hanging around long enough to get pecked by a magpie, long enough that it's going to make you bleed, you're the problem. You're the problem. The council had installed warning signs and umbrellas along the street to protect walkers. Dumb, 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 dumb. Like, umbrellas. Okay, yeah, let's put some big shiny bits of metal for the fucking bird that, like the closest relative of is the one that collects shiny bits of metal. Let's put those there to detract the bird. You fucking dumb fucks. It said a licensed animal controller will carry out the cull, which it added will be the first magpie cull in recent memory. Yeah, no shit. I hope he doesn't do it. I hope he just, like, somehow, by the magic of bird fancying, I don't know how you do it, but I hope he just scares them off somehow. I don't know. It's clearly they'll engage the services of some hunter, someone who is like purpose-built, not purpose-built, but whose purpose as a profession is to get rid of things like foxes and wild cats and like things that are gonna fuck with your cattle or your livestock or your chickens or whatever like that. You know what I mean? Like, this is. Like, they're going to engage someone. They're going to get a professional who has never had to... Like, there's no one. No one is in the business of culling magpies. That's so dumb. It's so dumb. Anyway, I'm going to be bulk filming a bunch for you today, and this... I was procrastinating, and this came up in my Facebook, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a Butterfield-esque rant video because this is fucking dumb. This is dumb. I love magpies, and, yeah, to finish off the video before the splash and the recommends and stuff, I'm just going to play you a magpie warbling. Warbling is like their sing-song, like it's their call type thing. It's like a I don't need to describe it. I'll just play it next. I'll see you guys when I look at you. You'll see me when you look at me. Thanks for watching, guys.